are just on the outskirts of the village of Huzak. We've come to see the Tobol waterfall and the sun's shining. What more could we ask for? And the sheep are getting a good view as well. Look. A long way down. Breathtaking views. Now this canyon must have been formed over hundreds of millions of years just from the water coming down from the mountains. But over here we've still got an old Russian garrison fort that was built in 1867 when it was obviously the Russian Empire under the Tsar, when they were in their bid to capture the Caucasus. It took them a while. Completely by coincidence, by chance, I bumped into a guy called Kamal who is doing his very best to develop tourism in Dagestan. So look, good to meet you.
Good to meet you, Luke. Welcome to Dagestan. A little bit exaggeration maybe, but we try our best because we're right in the beginning.
Who comes here most of all at the moment?
At the moment, the normal Russians from the different regions like Moscow, Petersburg and the bigger cities. It seems like Dagestan seems to be a nice place, nice scenery, landscape and hospitality and people and cuisine. Like everything together gives you feeling that you are, being the Russian, you are visiting the totally another country.
Yeah. So what's your message to any foreign guests watching this?
Dagestan is the unique place. We have a lot to show. We would really love to introduce what we have. Dagestan is not only Khabib Nurmagomedov and UFC. Dagestan has a lot of great people. I mean, apart from Khabib, of course, he's one of our...
He's putting you on the map.
Yeah.
I would add to that is that if you do come here as a foreigner, you're almost like a pioneer because there's not many other foreigners here at the moment.
Yeah.
And I heard a statistic that 80% of foreigners who come to Russia only visit Moscow and St. Petersburg.
Absolutely, yeah.
We need to change that.
Yeah. So we are here. We are ready to be a part of changing that situation.
Brilliant.
So
fantastic. Look, come on, really good to meet you and good luck with everything. Now I've taken a bit of convincing, but I'm slowly becoming a convert to the idea of doing a self-drive tour because I'm becoming quite fond of our little white friend. Here we go. So this is where the real fun starts. We've been going along the flat most of the time. Now we're going down the mountain into the canyon. Stay with us. Dagestan's not known as a country of extremes for nothing. We've come at a time when there's absolutely zero water, but behind me you can probably see a bridge, and the locals have informed me that when the glaciers melt, then literally you need a bridge to get over there, and this would all be submerged in icy water. So it's either one extreme or the other. There's only one way out. We've driven up to the top of another mountain to a village called Sagretel. It's 1,600 meters high, nice fresh mountain air. That's enough for this evening, but our final excursion here, Magomier's going to tell us a little bit about the house where we're going to stay. Расскажите, где мы будем жить сегодня вечером?
Вы будете жить в этом доме. Дом построен 1894 года. Очень старый дом. И быт от сагратлинцев, горцев, вот такой был быт. Да, горцы строили дома 2 этажа. Здесь в первом этаже они держали скот, земли было мало, поэтому строили 2 этажа. Мы сейчас видим, кизяк. Это топливо горское. Это сушеный коровий навоз.
Cow dung.
Это и была наша основная топливо. Дрова это дефицит был. И дровы, короче, у нас очень мало было. Вот это то, что мы видим. И вот эта дрова, это наше НЗ. Это топливо использовали в двух случаях. В случае смерти человека и в случае свадьбы. Если это дома кто-то умирает, все приносили такие трехножки, кастрюли. Их выставляли вот так, быстренько брали топливо, проводили вот это мероприятие. Вот по потолку мы видим, столько мероприятий здесь проходило.
Wow, кстати, да.
Здесь костер.
Magomed's given me this implement and asked me what it is or what it does. Понятия не имею. А что это?
Это мужской орган быка, бычий корень она называется. В ветеринарной службе ее используют для собак, пожевывать, короче, вот такими кусками. А горцы ее использовали для овец, коров гонят. Она очень жесткая.
Теперь будем знать.
Практически ничего не выкидывали. Каждый овец приготовил один. Вот обычно сарай горцев. Здесь держали ослика. Почему? Потому что постоянно она работала, постоянно выводит. Культура выпаса скота у горцев был в высоком уровне. Замок моего прадедушки, самодельный замок. Здесь висит. Самый такой простой. Прошу сохранить прадедушку. Палки для выпаса скота. Знаете, почему они кривые такие палки? Когда могли ровные палки. Когда коровы идут, ты можешь ее на склоне кинуть коровам. Она кривая, и она станет, где упадет, там она будет лежать. Она не скользит по горам. Каменные светильники, заливали сюда жир и поджигали. И вот эта лампа освещала сразу две комнаты.
Time to light the fire, the proper Dagestani way. Three-legged stool. I was explained that that's specially made so that when the floor isn't very smooth, you don't fall over. And we've got some cow dung instead of firelighters or newspaper. Let's see how flammable. Whoa, this stuff's flammable. Wow, look at that. Look how quickly that stuff goes up. Wow, that's impressive. That should keep us warm.
Сказал легенду вот этого пандура.
Давайте.
Жил, говорит, горец, был у него, говорит, дом, во дворе росло большое дерево, кинжал и один козел. И любил он одну красавицу гаремку. И когда время пришло сватать, он пошел к ней, и она говорит, нет, ты бедный, я за тебя замуж не выйду, я выйду за богатого. И отказала ему. Он разозлился, пришел домой, вытащил кинжал, срубил это дерево, из дерева сделал это пандур, зарезал козу, из козлиных кишков поставил 2 струны и горько запел «Далалай, далалай, далалай».
Good morning, everyone. Just woken up, had a great night's sleep up here in the mountains, and we're off to Gamsutal, which is the Machu Picchu of Dagestan, if not the whole of Russia. Join me. Believe it or not, what's behind me is actually not Gamsutal. That's a village where there's still a couple of people living there. I even saw a satellite dish in the background, so maybe they can tune in for the live football. But the best is yet to come, because we're only 3/4 of the way up. Now halfway up the mountain, and you can tell that it's getting higher up here, because all the ice is frozen. This is it, Gamsutal. Claims to be one of the oldest villages in Dagestan, and obviously there's a lot of villagers who are going to lay that particular claim, and who knows. It's pretty old, and it's abandoned. Nobody's lived here for around about 60 years, but back in the day, this was nature's protection at its finest. Let's face it, nobody lived on the top of a mountain because the view was nice or because it was cool to be in the middle of nowhere. This was purely practical. Saying that the village here was abandoned about 60 years ago is not strictly true, because there was one hermit who decided that he liked it so much he left and came back again, and he lived here until just a few years ago, so his only company was visiting tourists, but there's definitely no one here today. Turns out that Gamzutal is by no means the only abandoned village in Dagestan. Apparently there are hundreds of them. This is just the most popular because it's the most accessible, although it wasn't exactly easy to get here. You know, it was dirt track most of the way and we had to walk the last few miles, but it was well worth it. Now, if you come to Dagestan and you want to visit an abandoned village, this is probably the one you'll be taken to. But if you want to be the only person who's ever been somewhere, there's plenty more to choose from. We're coming to the end of our Dagestan trip. It's been fantastic. You can see by the pebble dash mud splatters on our UAZ that it's been great. This might not be the highlight of the trip, but we've been promised an urbiech making session in a nondescript part of Kaspisk on the Caspian Sea. Work's already underway, so let's go on in. Wow. Они здесь растут, в Дагестане?
У нас сажали раньше в горах, но в горах, поскольку у нас мало земли, вот этой пахотной, там были такие террасочки в горах. На этих террасочках каждое хозяйство сажало для себя вот этот лен, а потом собирали все этот лен и ходили на мельницы. В каждом селении бывала мельница раньше, в старину. Они могут задеться, идут обжарка. Влага лишняя уходит отсюда. Мы потом их остужаем на мельнице и мелем. Вот как потихонечку засыпаются семена.
А что добавляется туда? Ничего. Это чистый лен. We tried this stuff last night and it tastes a little bit like a runny version of peanut butter. And I was quite surprised. I was curious as to how it's made and we were given the opportunity today. Чем это естся? Это добавляется в кашу или это можно на хлеб намазать?
Это можно намазать на хлеб, но мы на хлеб, оно по вкусу такой вяжущий вкус. Поэтому мы первый слой на хлеб делаем масло, любое сливочное, какое вам пойдет, топленое. Второй слой урбеч и третий слой мед. И получается просто супер вкусно это. Это чисто дагестанский наш продукт, и причем это очень старинная технология. Благодаря вот этим высокогорным селам у нас сохранились вот эти мельницы и вот эта вот технология. У нас 20 видов.
20 different types. Oh, look at that.
20 видов.
20 видов.
Welcome back, Luke.
Thank you very much. Way. Fantastic. That was fantastic. That was absolutely amazing.
I think you earned it.
Oh, we deserve it. Shigurovskaya. Brilliant.
Come in.
Just what I needed.
Come on.
That's great. No, what this sounds.
Willkommen.
Cheers.
How was it, Luke?
It was absolutely fantastic, Andreas. Honestly, I was a little bit skeptical about the idea of doing a self-drive UAZ tour through the Dagestani mountains, but I'm really glad you convinced me. Had a fantastic time.
How was driving the UAZ?
Easier than I expected. I'm not a big driving fan, and I thought this thing's big, how's it going to navigate? But honestly, it handled the bumpy roads, the potholes, a lot better than I expected. And yeah, it's a little bit bumpy, but it's a mountain road. This is a mountainous country, and it was superb.
That's exactly the terrain it was built for. Yeah?
So what I'd like to know is what gave an Austrian guy the idea to come here and set up a self-drive tour here in Dagestan?
Yeah, the answer is very easy. My wife Svetlana. We lived in Samara a couple of years ago, and Svetlana said, let's go for summer holiday to Dagestan. And we drove down by Bukhanka, of course, to Dagestan, spent 2 weeks here, and just fell in love.
And we came back whenever we had the opportunity, and then we just decided we will turn our passion of driving by car, of going off-road, into our profession, and we opened up our self-drive company here.
Why Dagestan? What makes Dagestan unique and a place that would make people want to come and visit?
Yeah, as you have seen yourself, Luke, Dagestan has so many things to show on a very small area. So we have the beautiful, gorgeous nature. We have all these different nationalities, all these traditions. We have the most important thing, the Dagestani people, with their big hearts, with their hospitable, welcoming way, how to treat foreigners, how to treat guests.
That's one thing I noticed actually, is how hospitable people are. And what would you say to people who are skeptical about coming here? Because obviously living in Moscow, you say that you're going to Dagestan, and obviously it's like, oh, be careful. And I always say to people, look, I've been here before. I came here 6 years ago. I always say to people, look, it's perfectly safe. You know, where do you get these ideas from? So what would be your advice to anyone who was like contemplating coming here, but, you know, a little bit worried?
Yes, fortunately, most of the information you find on the internet about Dagestan is very outdated. This is a safe and calm country.
And friendly, welcoming.
And very welcoming, very, very friendly. I can just tell them, like, look at your videos, check them out, come and see yourself.
Yeah.
We would be most happy to show you the most beautiful places here in Dagestan.
Brilliant. And there's a lot of them. We only spent 3 days traveling around. A lot of people do 10-day self-drive tours, and even they only see a fraction of the country. So once again, Andreas, thank you very much. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'll say cheers once again. And this has been Luke Jones the other way. Hope you'll make it to Dagestan one day.
Welcome to Dagestan.
Cheers.